So you're trying to be this illusion of yourself, and you don't even know it. Like, let me be really frank with you. You don't even know this is happening. You know, I speak with, I do sessions most weeks. I've just done this tour of India. I'm meeting hundreds and hundreds of people and talking about this subject. And let me tell you one thing. Most people really don't realize they're seeking. They might realize that they're not happy, but they cannot realize that they're seeking, because they can't really realize there's something in your brain and in your body saying, there is a problem with right now, I need to fix it. Most people are obsessed with the idea that if they get enlightened, their problems will be fixed. That is seeking. That is the illusion. This idea that you will get enlightened. Oh, yes, I think that goes back to the title. How can I experience non-duality? So this idea that you're going to arrive there, you really take that seriously. You really take the idea of non-duality seriously. And maybe it makes you feel better about yourself, about your life, about your current situation. And you're not being real. You've got to be real. If you want to find home, you've got to be really real. If your character is depressed and needs this hope of non-duality, you've got to really admit the depression first. Otherwise, it's like you're trying to use this hope of non-duality to avoid this depression. So you've got to really admit this depression. You've got to really go into the feelings and see what's at the root of it. And then once you get to the root of it, then you can start saying what it is you want to rebalance that feeling. But you've got to get to the root first. You've got to really see what your illusion is. And then you start saying what it is you want in order to rebalance that chakra area that's most probably really out of balance. But you've got to be honest and real with yourself and see what's happening. See that seeking energy that's coming up, trying to create this illusion. Like, now I'm in non-duality, and it's so funny. Like, I've done this now for 8 or 9 years. I'm now like 39. I started when I was 30. I do all these talks for so many years. And I see people get into this, and for the first like 2-3 years, it's a love affair, which is the same amount of time they say that falling in love lasts. They say that falling in love typically lasts, like that really intense falling in love, 1 or 2 years, and then new chemicals arise. And people are like super into it and they super love it. And then it's like the same pattern. And then after 2 or 3 years, it doesn't make that much difference. They begin to regret it and they begin to think it's not working for me. And they don't realize the hardcoreness of this. It's like seeing through all your illusion. So at first, your illusion is okay, this is going to save me. It's the next political savior. So it's like maybe before they were like, yeah, if I become a writer, it saves me. If I become a mother, it saves me. If I become a father, it saves me. If I become a member of the Nazi party, it saves me. If I get a dog, it saves me. If I buy a house, it saves me. If I become a millionaire, it saves me. And now it's like, okay, I got to the final one. If I get enlightened, it will save me. And then there's the same thing, like everything else. You fall in love with it for the short period at the beginning, and then you begin to resent it because it didn't save you. And it's so much more than that. It's seeing beyond all these illusions. It is there. Like, this isn't bullshit, this subject. It's so obvious that your essence is consciousness. Your essence is free. It's just you've forgotten it by all these ideas and judgments. And I see it so often. I'm like when I speak with people on the phone, I'm maybe more cunning than I seem like I am. But like often I ask them, how long have you been into it? And if it's like prior to 2 years, I know they're still going to be very excited about it. And if it's after, then normally there's a bit more skepticism. And then normally if they say after 2 years, they start telling me about all the therapies they've done, all these different books they've read and how none of it works. And then maybe they try to convince me how, not all the time, I'm not saying everyone's like this, but I see this common theme. And really it's like, it's being so open to your experience. So if you're phoning in and booking a session with me, it's not about all those things. It's like what you feel now, the vulnerability of what it is now, not all what you've done or how it worked or didn't work. It's like you always just investigate now. And that might be a story that's appearing now, but you see it as that, and you see, okay, so there's a story arising that I feel like, this is one common thing get a lot, is I feel like I've done so much therapy and so much work on myself and nothing works. But you see that for what it is, or what a juicy story to you. You feel like nothing works. That's a huge thing. You feel like God has let you down personally and nothing works. That is a huge freaking story, and you're believing it's true. It's not true. It is not true, baby. I'm not criticizing in any way, and if you book in a session with me, I will do this with you and point this out if that comes up, so don't feel shy, you know, like, oh, do I do that? I realized that when I was in a retreat last time that sometimes if I talk about sessions or what people do, then the mind begins to get insecure and thinking, if I do that, do I do that? But see it for what it is. If your thought is coming up and being like, oh, I've done that, she thinks that about me, see that. That is your teacher. That's amazing. So this body-mind mechanism gets insecure about this or gets insecure about that.